It's been already 3 devastating years into the costly World War I, and the Imperial German Army seems to have retreated from their position in the battle-scarred Western Front, an elaborate scheme designed to lure the Allies into a deadly trap. On April 6, 1917, with the lives of 1,600 fellow soldiers hanging by a thread, the best friends and British Army Lance Corporals, Tom Blake and Will Schofield, undertake a peril-laden mission to hand-deliver an urgent, life-saving message to Colonel Mackenzie's 2nd Battalion of the Devonshire Line Infantry Regiment.
Greg Simmonds.
With this in mind, amid the horrors of an uncannily silent no-man's land, the young brothers in arms must traverse 9 long miles of hostile enemy terrain in the French countryside, to reach the 2nd Devons in time and call off the imminent attack.
And how do we get him?
Now, 2 ordinary troopers walk into certain death.
Very good.
What makes a true hero? On April 6, 1917, aerial reconnaissance has observed that the German army, which has pulled back from a sector of the Western Front in northern France, is not in retreat but made a strategic withdrawal to the new Hindenburg Line, where they are waiting to overwhelm the British with artillery. In the British trenches, with field telephone lines cut, 2 young British soldiers, Lance Corporals William Schofield, a veteran of the Somme, and Tom Blake, are ordered by General Aaron Moore to carry a message to Colonel Mackenzie of the 2nd Battalion of the Devonshire Regiment, calling off a scheduled attack that would jeopardize the lives of 1,600 men, including Blake's brother Lieutenant Joseph Blake. Schofield and Blake cross no man's land to reach the abandoned German trenches. In an underground barracks, they discover a booby-trap tripwire, which is promptly triggered by a rat. The explosion almost kills Schofield, but Blake saves him, and the 2 escape. They arrive at an abandoned farmhouse, where they witness a German plane being shot down. Schofield and Blake drag the burned pilot from the plane. However, the pilot stabs Blake and is shot dead by Schofield. Schofield comforts Blake as he dies, promising to complete the mission and to write to Blake's mother. Schofield is then picked up by a passing British unit. A destroyed canal bridge near Ecast-Saint-Main prevents the British lorries from crossing. Schofield chooses to part with them at the bridge, but before he does, one of the unit's officers, Captain Smith, warns Schofield that Colonel Mackenzie is someone who would rather fight than follow orders. He then uses what is left of the bridge to cross alone, and quickly comes under fire from a German sniper. He and the sniper shoot each other simultaneously. The sniper is killed, while Schofield is knocked unconscious. He regains consciousness at night, and finds the town in flames. He is discovered by German soldiers, who open fire. Schofield escapes the soldiers by hiding in the basement of an abandoned building, and stumbles into the hiding place of a French woman with an infant. She treats his wounds, and he comforts the infant by reciting a poem, giving the woman his canned food and milk from the farm. Despite her pleas, Schofield leaves soon after, realizing that time is not on his side. He encounters more German soldiers, strangling one and pushing past another who is inebriated. Being chased, he escapes by jumping into a river. He is swept over a waterfall before reaching the riverbank by morning. In the forest he finds D Company of the 2nd Devons, which is in the last wave of the attack. As the company starts to move toward the front, Schofield tries to reach Colonel Mackenzie. Realizing that the trenches are too crowded for him to make it to Mackenzie in time, Schofield sprints across the battlefield, just as the infantry begins its charge. He forces his way into meeting Mackenzie, who reads the message and reluctantly calls off the attack. Mackenzie says that, while the cancellation offers a temporary reprieve, command will likely change its orders in a week. Schofield is told that Joseph was in the first wave, and he searches for him among the wounded, finding him unscathed. Joseph is upset to hear of his brother's death, but thanks Schofield for his efforts. Schofield gives Joseph his brother's rings and dog tag, and asks to write to their mother about Blake's heroics, to which Joseph agrees. Schofield sits under a tree, looking at photographs of his wife and 2 daughters.